Hi guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani
And I am Naina Bhan.
and we are both barren. No, no.
Guess I know what we're talking about today.
It's like a little surprise for Naina every time the camera rolls because she doesn't know what's going to come out of my mouth. Quite honestly, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth the same way I don't know if someone is going to come out of my vagina. In this life at least. But yeah, in case you didn't guess it already, this is the question that all our relatives have been asking, and I'm sure if you are a woman in and above her 20s, you have gotten this question a bunch of times. So let's get into, are we or will we ever be ready to be?
Mothers! So I am a super feelings related and oriented person. I realize that I will never be able to do like a 5-year plan with my career. That's why I don't have an MBA or great wealth, nothing, none of that. But what I have realized is that I want to set an emotional goal for myself, and that is that I want to be a mom. And I feel like I'm going to work financially towards reaching that goal, and I have a cutoff in my mind for what age I want to reach it by, so that I can bring,
Share with the room.
yeah, oh, that age, 35, so that I can
Okay.
bring a beautiful Amazonian, gorgeous 6 foot tall woman or man into the
Oh
world.
man. A beautiful, gorgeous
A beautiful,
woman or a
gorgeous,
boy.
golden, angelic, person into the world who will take my legacy forward.
And would you be willing to do it by yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fully.
Ideally.
Yeah. I want to, I don't know, let's hope that modern families progress and evolve by then and I won't get hounded by the entire nation. But I would actually really love to raise my kid within my family with my cousins and all of my good friends.
Sushmita Sen walked so we could run.
Run, fly.
Because I fantasize about adopting a child. Like that's been my big goal since I was 20. I want to adopt a child and just raise her by myself.
Specifically her.
Specifically her.
I like that.
Yeah. And at 23, in fact, I was doing research and all about it. And then I was like, it's too expensive. And I just don't think the system is set up in a way that I could raise a child. And I was so adamant about it at some point. And then I kind of gave up on it, which is honestly not good for a. Like if I had actually adopted a child, I was like, oh, mera ho gaya. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a fantasy so much as it was just an aspiration of mine. I feel like I have so much to give, and I don't know
Aw.
who to give it to.
Um, my UPI ID. No, I mean, I feel like I can't keep waiting on the correct person to enter my life for this to happen, and I also need to start thinking about it to fall into place because I take at least a year and a half to buy a coffee table. So, to buy a child, to produce a child, like I need to start planning now. The procrastinator in me will only
There's no procrastination. 9 months में आ जाएगा,
हाँ,
bro.
but the night it has to be conceived. उसके 24 hours पहले I'm like doing all the documents and injecting all the hormones. I'm like, let's go! I'm gonna be a mother. Yeah.
So the time that I had to think about becoming a mom was I was 23. I went to the gynac. She did whatever the fuck she had to, and she said, "Have you thought about freezing your eggs?" And I was like, "No, I'm 23, bitch." But she was like, "It's time to start thinking about it." And then that's when I was like, I'm okay with adopting. I don't think I need to take my issues forward in another being. So, and I didn't freeze my eggs at that point, but I'm still in that kind of window to freeze
Yeah.
my eggs.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
What do you mean in that window?
I am. It
I'm
is-
in the window. You are in the highway of freezing your eggs, bro. You can freeze any time. You just
But
Yeah.
do you know what it takes to freeze your eggs?
I'm scared to check, but I want to start like researching it. Because I just like randomly through the day, when you think about things in your life and you just zone out, like I think about, I still haven't frozen my eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because so for context, one of my cousins
Yeah.
froze her eggs, and she told me that first of all, the process was painful.
Yeah.
It was long, and during that, you have to quit all your vices like
Yeah.
alcohol and I don't have any, but yeah, you have to quit all of those.
Watermelon vape, like, yeah.
Mint
Yeah, mint.
actually,
Yeah, okay.
but you have to quit all of that, and then they make you freeze like I think 10 eggs at least. So they extract the eggs, and you go through like a sort of phantom pregnancy at that point where your hormones go fucking cray cray,
Yeah.
and then you're in a bad mood, and like your weight fluctuates and all of that.
At least you
And-
can blame it on something legitimately
Yeah,
this time.
now it's just-
it's my
It's
my
me.
IVF, dude. I'm freezing my eggs.
Yeah, come
Come on.
on.
Yeah.
And then you pay 30,000 rupees a year rent
For the eggs.
for the eggs.
Where
Your
are they staying?
eggs.
Kurla?
And then when you have to get pregnant, not all your eggs are viable.
Yeah.
So then also you have to go through rounds of IVF. So it's like at that point just adopt.
No, can I take this somewhere scary for a second?
Go for it.
Okay, so basically, I was reading recently, aka listening to a podcast.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah, no, this was a proper podcast. It was basically about this IVF center in America somewhere, and one of the nurses was actually a drug addict and was swapping out all the morphine for water. And all these women were coming in for treatment, and she was just giving them more and more water, and they were in a lot of pain, and they were like, listen, I'm in pain, and the doctor's like, no, you'll feel a little discomfort. And so many women had to go through painful treatment before they actually believed the women saying that, listen bro, like something's not right. And then they realized that the nurse was a crackhead. It's like, and that's really scary. I'm like, who
Crackhead
will
behavior.
believe me
Yeah.
if I tell them? Because it becomes a whole thing, right? Women are like, they are applauded for their threshold for pain, because you
You
go
have a
through
choice.
waxing period, this, that, it's like your suit of armor. So when you first start feeling pain, I would imagine, and a lot of women said that also, they were like, okay, am I not being able to take it? Like, am I a bad woman? Yeah, because I can't. Because this,
Loser.
yeah. But yeah, so that's why I started freaking out about
Yeah.
reading up on IVF and freezing my eggs. But then recently I saw a reel with Mona Singh talking about it, and I want to get into it.
Yeah.
After I buy my bags, I will definitely freeze my eggs.
Yeah, imagine having to pay for your kids' education or buying the latest Prada. My
Homeschool.
kid's just gonna sit at home, learn
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
He's
That's a
gonna be
great
dumb.
segue. Are you? What do you think about like you as a mom?
Dude,
What are you gonna carry with you, and what are you going to abandon?
I would look. I'm gonna abandon the kid. Like, if I have 4 things I can carry when I'm going shopping, you best believe the kid is staying at home with Nani.
I would be the kind of mom who would just like let the child have its own experiences. It's there.
She's so motherly. Call her mother of the year.
Yeah, I would let the child have their own experiences, and like just rough it out a little bit, man.
Yeah.
Like, kick it a little bit here and there.
Sit on some glass.
Yeah. My mom used to love my sister, and I make a lot of fun of this. Whenever like anything happened in our life, she would just say, wear a pair of sneakers and go kick a ball. That's my philosophy.
What does that
That means go get some physical exercise and distract yourself.
Like, I would probably be like a very like not a toddler, but I'll be like, my kid can never taste sugar because it's so bad for you. But then like my kid is probably gonna go and binge eat Snickers after school or some shit. But I have like a very like, but if they never taste sugar, then they'll never crave it. And I think sugar has been the worst thing I've ever had to quit. So I'm like, I'll be like a very like, fruits have sugar, did you know? But then that's like very almond mom. That's why I'm like, maybe once I'm mature.
Then you'll be an almond
Yeah.
mom.
No, then I'll have a kid. I don't want to fuck up a kid by telling him can't eat like grapes or some shit.
Okay, but I want to tell you that if you name your child a sound, I will come for you.
What's a sound?
Aya, Maya, Taya, Alaya, Shaya, whatever the fuck. Like, it cannot. What happened to
Ayan,
Balbir? What happened to
Vayan.
Gurvinder? What happened to Rakesh? Like,
You're
where?
gonna name your kid
I'm gonna
Rakesh?
name my kid Shakuntala. Like, no.
Deadass?
Deadass.
I will come for you.
Come for me.
Guys, mark it. She wants to name her firstborn child Shakuntala.
You can name, as long as the kid is hot, any name passes.
Naina.
They'll be Padma Lakshmi. You would think Padma Lakshmi is some hot person, but she's so good looking. Even Salman Rushdie couldn't resist. Just like it's true.
Facts.
Facts.
What if your kid's not hot?
Personality development में time है. I
Just
had
wear a pair of sneakers.
just wear a pair of sneakers and run around and kick a ball. No, there was a time when I didn't know which direction my looks would go, so I had to develop the personality.
Yeah.
So I think
Luckily, you have a good personality and good looks, but I feel like parents cannot objectively tell if their kid is attractive. Like,
but
they-
people around them definitely.
yeah, but who's gonna come up to you and say your kid is ugly?
I'll fight that person to
It's
that.
like parent goggles.
You know, there's a thing that, like, in the first year of your child's birth, they look more like the dad than like the mom. It's like
Really?
some kind of like thing about like evolutionary thing, so that the dads would know, like when we lived in either communal societies, that the dad would know whose child it is, or they wouldn't run away because they would see the kid themselves in the kid.
Men.
This is just me, like,
Everything I hear about men is just like.
theek hai, they have some role to play somewhere.
Yeah, but like I feel like my kid wouldn't miss a dad in their life. Like if it came down to
That's
it.
her OnlyFans bio.
So I adopted Sushi, okay? So
Yeah.
Subrat was very against it. He was like, put him up for adoption, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'll fix my life around. I'll do this and all. And for the first 2 months of Sushi's life, Subrat was not living in Bombay. So Sushi was not part of his life. And one time we were discussing what would happen if we broke up. And I was like, of course, I would keep Sushi. And Subrat was like, I don't know if that's so clear. And then that night, I logged into the BMC website and I registered him in my name. I was like,
Does he know?
now he does.
Sorry, Subrat.
And like, he's Sushi Shivdasani, he's Sushi Sakshi Shivdasani.
Put
It's a
all the
tongue-
names. Anything
Yeah,
else?
no one's gonna pry him
Yeah.
out of my hands.
I think dads are important
Yeah.
for something.
If you want to develop daddy issues and become funny.
You know, the thing is, like, my dad has always been like a friendly dad. Like, he's never been the dad that brought out like fear in me, because my dad was in the merchant navy, and like he was around for months in the year, and when he was there, he just wanted to have fun with me, because
He was on vacay.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on vacay. I was like, my dad's here. He bring lots of Barbies. Like, that was my life. So I never grew up with that fear of like a father. I don't know how that's fucked me up, but I'm sure it has in some way.
I'm just not scared of men.
Yeah, I'm not scared of men. I just mother them. Then they're scared of me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it works. I only have one issue, that when women like present themselves as role models, and I don't want to be the kind of role model for my kid if she's a daughter. that she has to be like, oh, if you want to be a successful woman, you have to hustle, and you
Yeah.
can be the dream. Like, you can be at your work meeting and then come back home at like, yeah,
Breastfeeding.
breastfeeding, and come back home at 9 and then make food for everyone, and then also, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I want that kid to know that
The slow life.
not even slow life, but like, it's okay to be gray. Like, you can be great at your job, but you will have a compromised personal life.
Your kid will be kind of wonky.
Yeah, a little wonky like that. And
So, what do you think of moms that have it all? Like, do you think there's a right way to do it? Because I understand that moms get shamed a lot for just making decisions.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Moms get shamed like for breathing.
Yeah, if you work, you're shamed. If you don't work, you're shamed. If you like,
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know who's cracked it. And I'm right now like at that place where I, have come full circle with my mom, and now I just like see her as a person. I'm like, theek hai man, like, you made mistakes. No one
yeah,
has like any serious issues from it. I will blame you, but I don't have any serious
I'm
issues.
chill.
I'm chill. It's okay. You did the best you could, and I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
But I don't think anything you can do is right. Like, I feel like if you're too strict, then your kid is like doing something on the side. If you're too flexible, then your kid is like, you were never a parent figure in my life. Like, either way you go, you are going to get burnt. So I'm just going to make peace with the fact that from the age of 13 to 25, my kid is not mine. They've left me. They probably hate me, and maybe somewhere in the future they'll come back and be like, oh mom, now I understand.
I get you now.
I get you. I appreciate
Get
you. Yeah. But you know what's really, really like something that gets me going? Like a dude with like a baby strapped to the front.
Bruh.
Dads are so hot.
Bruh, it's
It's
almost
just-
animal like. It has to be nature's instinct. My ovaries start doing some
Yeah, they
fucking
start, like-
production. It happens.
They're so hot.
Yeah.
Dads are hot, dude.
But that's why I'm like, dads get appreciated for doing the bare
Bare minimum.
min. So like my dad, okay, I remember 2 times in my childhood, he came home like at 9 p.m. from work or like 8 p.m. It was dinner time, and he went into the kitchen for 2 minutes, and apparently he would mash like whatever vegetable or like pretend like he's making it, and my mom would say, oh, dad has made the food today, and my sister and I would be like, this is the best food we've ever had, like, oh papa, you should cook every day and everything. Cut to 10 years later, I realized she was just letting him take the credit because she wanted us to eat a full meal without crying because we were picky kids. And my dad would just take the credit, bro. Homie, what's up?
He knew. He knew
Yeah.
how to play you. No, I mean, I can't relate because my dad used to cook really
Okay,
well.
yeah, my dad fucking sucks, man. Rajesh, if you're listening.
No, my dad is really bad at playing the bad cop. Like, he just can't do it. And I only realized my parents like parenting skills once I saw them raising my dog. I totally understand where both me and my sister are fucked up, because the authority is so bipolar. Like, my mom is like, and my dad's like, kuch bhi karo, like, whatever you want. Oh, my poor child. And like, my dog as a result is like, he bullies the shit out of my dad. My mom, he's like, I mean, that's me.
Yeah.
That's my sister. That's all of us. He's just such a sweeto.
He's just like vibing.
Yeah,
Please
like,
don't
I
hate
understand
me.
the Kardashians now. Like, so many women together, such alpha traits, those poor men.
Fights are gonna happen, you know.
Fights. Fights are gonna happen.
True. I also believe that raising a child is like a community effort.
It was back in the day, in ancient times, in prehistoric times.
If
Actually,
you-
women were never supposed to be monogamous, and neither were men. Like, we were all in communities, and we would all communally raise children and have.
She's saying like she did it last week. Women, we would raise our children. We were not monogamous.
Yeah, we were not. And now, like,
What community in Versova are you in which is not monogamous, babe?
oh, that's Bandra actually.
That
Yeah,
is banned.
That's Bandra to Juhu. No. Tell me something. Has sushi unlocked some levels of motherhood in you that you didn't know?
Dude, honestly, it made me kind of rethink if I ever want to be a mom because I take sushi for a walk in
Yeah.
the morning and then I come back and I ignore him for 1 hour. Like, I just need to sleep again. But if I have a child, I won't be able to just let him chew on a wire and go to sleep, you know? Like, dogs are more resilient.
Yeah.
But, and I've realized that I need 8 hours of sleep. I don't care what happens
Yeah.
around it. I cannot function without 8 whole hours of sleep. So I'm like, I don't know, like if I can be a human child mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to first like take care of yourself as a child and then parent
Yeah.
your child. My
Exactly.
biggest fear was waking up for my kids to go to school. Like, wake up, then run behind the bus, get
Make
that
them wear a
anxiety.
sock. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I always lost things when I was a kid, like my tiffin and
Yeah.
stuff. And now I totally get it why my mom was so
So,
pissed off at
yeah.
me all the time. But I am ready for the PTAs. I'm going to tell all you teachers to fuck off.
मेरी
I was
बेटी के
bullied
बारे.
by my teachers, and I will not let that happen to my children.
Yeah.
I could have been a physicist. I had to
No.
start a fucking podcast because my teacher bullied.
She's now a podcast, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
So, okay. Hot take.
Yes.
But I don't think we're going to have any funny kids in 20 years. I think a lot of my humor came from my parents just letting me be. And
Yeah.
today, people are not gonna let their kids be. Like,
I I get it. Like, I get it. But I also feel like people are letting their kids be too much. Like, parents are afraid of their children when it's supposed to be the other way around. Like, kids are supposed to be afraid of their parents. Like, I know this one woman, and her kids have these friends whose parents literally do not say no to them. Like, it is wrong in their house to tell the kid. So if the kid wants to draw on the wall, the kid can draw on the wall. It's the kid's choice what time they want to do whatever. If they want to eat on the floor, if they want to eat with their foot, like anything, like allow the kid to just be, because you don't want to stop their creativity. And she's like, I went to their house and it looked ransacked, and the mom was like struggling because this kid was like running terror on the house.
wow. I can't believe she's just raising another man.
After all that. After all
We've
that.
seen what they do. Don't let a man tell you what to do, even if it's a 3-year-old man child. Child.
So I think people might be funny, but like, yeah,
No, I feel like that's just raising an asshole. Like,
can I tell you like a allegedly, like, what sounds like a stoner thought to me that I had.
go for it.
Like, I was like, what if in the future this is gonna be so dumb. Like, the
Please
way I
go
stopped
ahead.
the entire room to
What
let
if?
this thought out. What if in the future my kid like wants to date, like in the metaverse, wants to date an AI, and I have to spend money on him digitally dating this.
You don't.
Yeah, like, oh, I want to buy my AI girlfriend a Prada bag.
Stocks.
And I'm like, she's not even real, but the kid's like, but mom, she's giving me emotional fulfillment.
You don't get it, mom.
Yeah, she loved me.
This is who I am.
Yeah. What will I do?
Just say no. Throw the kid out if he's in love with AI.
Yeah.
That's when the love is not unconditional. Like you
Conditional.
don't love anything that loves AI because AI loves him enough. Just leave him. just shove him back in if you can. We don't need to have children that are in love with AI, with Chat GPT.
What about? Oh yeah, I heard this other thing. I mean, this I actually read in a book. Okay, this I actually read in a book.
Who believes Naina reads books on the DL?
It's called The Lonely Economy. Actually,
okay.
It's talking about basically how kids, because they talk to Siri and stuff so much, one, they don't know how to talk to people. Like, they don't understand like politeness, so they talk in commands. Go get that, do this, because Siri doesn't require
Yeah.
you to be
So
apologetic.
my dad.
And second being that the kid, because they watch like so much like stuff on their iPads, they don't know how to decode human emotions of people's faces because they're so programmed to the screen. My kid's gonna be fucking dumb.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
kid is gonna be fucking
I'll have to
dumb.
raise my kid in Goa. Like we'll all be finger painting and doing some
What do you
pottery and
think
all.
people in Goa
This is all they do, bro. I kid you not. I
You
went.
land at the airport, they don't sign your immigration form, they just fingerprint.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a very loud laugh. No, I shit you not. I went for a capoeira class in Goa.
What the fuck is
It's
a
a mixed
capoeira?
martial arts based
Oh.
on, it's Brazilian and it's based on dance, and it has a lot of flips and things, handstands and shit. And I obviously it was my first class. Everybody else was training with the teacher, and I was being taught by an 11-year-old, and they were so smart. And they were the best teacher I ever had. I would have been so smart if this kid had tutored me through physics. I would have been a physicist.
What is this physicist thing?
I just feel like I had a lot of lost potential as a physics student. Like I always failed, but it's because I feel like my teachers, my physics teachers all across just hated me. I'm like, why?
What if your kid's physics teacher came and told you, hey, yo, this dude's a dumbass. I don't want to teach her anymore.
I don't even
You start crying. Like,
I'm like, well,
you get war flashback.
yeah, I do. I really do. Physics. The one that got away.
Would you have a child with physics?
What the fuck does that even mean?
If your hypothetical kid can have AI as the girlfriend,
You
then
want me to raise my child with
physics.
with a like a vertical of knowledge and information.
Sure.
Sakshi told me to come out of my shell for this one, so here I am.
I'm regretting
It's a
everything I've
naked
ever
turtle
said.
just on its back.
Some would say I parented you.
Would you bring your kid on the Instagram?
The Instagram?
Social media.
Look, all the data says that you shouldn't. Like,
Yeah.
it's proven that now your kid should not be exposed to creeps online. It's disgusting. People on there are disgusting. So, in theory, you shouldn't. But IRL, I might just want to show off a little piece of me. Like, you know,
Oh, there's a piece of meat. Like,
me,
me, a piece of us.
us.
I really, really think I'll be so hot when I'm pregnant.
So we're just abandoning topics at this point.
Yeah. Where do I follow through with this?
Would
Would I put my kid on the internet? No, I wouldn't put my kid on the internet. Isn't that
Chalo,
obvious?
chalo.
Okay, I wouldn't put my kid on the internet. I would definitely monitor my child. I want my kid to hate me for their formative years. I think then I would have done something right.
Your
Pyar
kid
vyar
says,
se
I
na-
hate you, mom, and you're like, yes, win.
Yeah, because that's when you know you're drawing a boundary. Don't you know that? It's therapy 101. When you draw a boundary, somebody on the other side of that boundary is going to be real pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know you're a great parent.
Yeah, exactly. Then later, when they're like 30, maybe we can go to like Amsterdam and smoke a doobie together.
When they're 30.
Yeah.
No.
That's till then they'll be living in my house on my income the way I see
And
it.
so when they're 30 and 31 years before that, you'd be pregnant. And
Yeah.
you think how would you be when you're pregnant?
Really hot.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think you'd be really hot when you're pregnant. What
really
would be
hot. And the hottest quality about me is that I will be batshit crazy.
That
The
is
hormones
very
would have hormoned. Like, I would be insane.
Every year, I find something else out about pregnancy that just horrifies me.
This time it was the nose.
The
thing.
nose. Yeah, I don't know whether this is a revelation to everyone, but in 2023, apparently, when you're pregnant, your nose just expands.
So for some people.
Yeah, but that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Do you think the Sindhi nose needs expansion?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Fair enough.
And then your feet apparently increase
Swell up,
sizes.
yeah.
And you're vomiting for 3 months.
That too forever and ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And-
don't want to shit myself. When you give birth, you have to shit yourself.
You have to.
Like they cleanse you, but sometimes you get a little something.
There's too much pressure on women for so many things. After you've birthed a whole ass child,
Yeah.
just You're hot, bro. You've done the hottest thing ever.
You
You've
just birth a
birthed
child.
you've given life to another being.
Yeah, there is an insane amount of pressure on mothers, and I think celebrity moms really ruin it for a lot of people because they do the whole procedure and come back looking like, they just
Nothing
went for a short
happened.
jog.
Yeah.
Like Emily, I can't pronounce her last name.
Rather Josh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
how can you look like that after having a
Dude.
baby, dude?
I feel like it's good that the resources are there, like for if you want to do like a tummy tuck or a boob job or all, but like why? Like there's so much happening. They've done possibly the most amazing thing. Like just as it feels supernatural that women can just like give birth
Birth,
and
yeah.
there's a whole ass functioning human. And I don't think they get enough credit for it. Why are we still focused on like my
The
boobs
bounce
are
back,
sagging
yeah.
or like whatever after you've just grown something with your own two hands? Like, you know.
Yeah. What happens after the baby is born is that everybody starts focusing on the baby and stops focusing on the mom and giving her the
Bruh.
space to be a
Yeah.
person. Everyone just like, they just go straight for the girl.
Have you seen that thing where like apparently when it's like the father's birthday, the mom always gives the father something. But usually on Mother's Day or like the mom's birthday, the dad apparently, like again, this is not a verified
Yeah.
stat. It's just like funsies, but gives them things related to the baby and thinks it's a gift for the mom, but it is the gift for the baby. And I feel like moms, so often it happens that they put all their energy into their kid, they lose their own identity, and then the kid grows up and the mom's like, but who am I?
Yes.
It's like Gajani. No, but
Then she looks at the tramp stamp
yeah,
at the back.
it's
She's
like
like, yes,
XYZ's
yeah,
mom.
antisocial.
Yeah,
No.
it's like I used to go to raves,
That
man.
really messes with my head in a good way, and I'm like, wow, my mom, actually both my parents, my mom was a whole personality before I was born, and now I see her as this altruistic person who's only supposed to do the right thing and know how to come and care for her
Yeah.
child when she's like freaking out on the inside. Yeah, I really like, now I like to talk to my mom's friends and my parents' friends and find out like who they were before
Before.
they were parents.
Yeah, it's before Sakshi and after Sakshi.
Yeah.
Two eras that
Two
have
eras.
happened. But I think my mom was like pretty like she was just a very good girl throughout her life. So I think and she wanted me and my sister to be like very like my mom was just she's still a saint of a person. She's amazing, but she has no vices. She sleeps on time, she eats healthy and all of that. And you can see she's invested so much into mine and my sister's life, and we're like, let's get drunk.
Yeah.
And just a little part of her is like, I wasted my life for this bitch.
But there's a huge, like, I find there to be a palpable difference between boy families and girl families. Like, I feel like girl families grow together because you're putting your daughter out into the world and she's dealing with it and she's getting a lot of pushback, and you're also learning how to be and evolve your thinking through that process. Like, if your kid's being slut shamed or whatever, you have to come up with things to have that conversation
Yeah.
with the child about. Whereas with boy families, I find, I mean, I might be like conjecturing, but
Suddenly she's trying to be diplomatic.
no, I'm just saying that I find that it's a lot of it is a celebration of the boy, and even like as he goes through his life, like his first girlfriend, his wedding, his child, it's all a celebration of that
Yeah.
boy. And I find that there is a lot of like consciousness in the unit that surrounds a girl
Yeah.
than the consciousness of the unit that surrounds the boy.
It's always like dads, girl dads are always like, oh, now I know the world is so bad. Bro, everyone's been telling you, why did you need to have a whole ass daughter,
Daughter
before
to
you
figure
could
this out?
realize, like, oh, now I know men are bad? Or we told you. What do you mean?
Yeah, we're all like the girl child family is going out to war every day.
Yeah.
They're like, what new hell can be thrown at
Yeah.
us today?
And the guy's family is like, oh,
I'm
look at this
spinning
2-year-old.
like a ballerina.
You know, I took my dad's surname, okay?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us have our father's surnames. That was the norm. But I'm so determined that my kid will also have my surname.
My kid will only have my surname, which is my
Yeah.
father's name, but like my
Now
dad's
at
name is
least.
cooler than my mom's
Yeah,
name.
I feel like it should be like a coolness thing.
Yeah.
Like
The sexier name.
Shivdasani is such a bhari name. Why
Yeah.
would I want to change it to like Mehta? Let's be honest, you
Fair
know.
enough.
I feel like or like you take two surnames and then you morph them into a mega surname and then it goes down.
I
Like
don't mind that over like people who morph their first names into the name of the child. Like, how vain can you be?
yeah.
Like Sakshi, Naina, and we name our child Sakna.
Sana.
Whatever.
That's
Like,
an old name.
yeah, but I'm like, no, there are bazillion names in the world.
Nekshi.
Nekshi. Yeah. It's because she's a love child, a gift.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Me looking at Sushi, who's literally Subrat
oh
Sakshi.
my god.
Okay, sushi is a name. It's a food.
It is. Hey,
Okay.
you know what? Both our dogs have Japanese names. Like my dog's name is Miso and your dog's name is Sushi.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's have a
go.
Japanese dinner. Let's find a ramen. Let's find a gyoza.
Yeah.
I know a dog named gyoza.
Really? Should we start a fight club?
Let's do it.
Japanese.
Gang.
Coming back to motherhood. Like, just
On that
segueing back. Yeah, I really do want to still have a kid. I don't know what lies in front and where life will take me and how I'll be able to do the delicate dance of being a mom and a woman and all those things.
I don't know why. Like in my parents' time, it was always like that's the natural progression of life. You have a child, right? But for me, it's like I want to be able to afford for my children at least what my parents were able to
Correct.
afford for me.
Correct.
So the finances play a big role in that for me, and hopefully, at least at the time of having a child. I don't know how life's a slippery slope. But yeah, I would like to be able to at least afford as much as my parents could for me.
Yeah.
And that's like a big. I'm really spending like I have no future. So I'm like, maybe it's time to hold back. And then, like, I like to travel a lot, but imagine having to pay for 2 hotel rooms
Yeah.
when you travel.
That hurts. Like, shout out to parents out
Shout out to
there.
parents. Dude, on my flight to Bali, there was this dad with this family, and he was asking us where we were staying and all of that because we were literally together from Bombay. And we were telling him because it was like whatever. And he was just like, oh, you guys are staying at such an expensive place, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you are literally doing two
X.
entities
Yeah.
trip. Like you have a different room for your daughters and a different room for you and your wife, and you have to pay for 4 people. That shit's expensive. I
Yeah.
would never judge a parent, dude. I wish I had this cognizance when I was a child that you know mm, there's a limited amount of money. I used to be like, oh, I want a phone. My dad must have been like, this bitch.
Yeah, she's gonna lose it.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I have said that every kid in this world ever to exist has said, and it's the dumbest thing that you can say is, why did you even have me if you couldn't handle like that kind of responsibility question,
Yeah.
I feel like scared as parents because like the world is progressing so fast. I was such a dud like growing up, and I only got like a taste of the first X of technology. And now my
Yeah.
kid will be, I don't know where all in the world, and come to me with questions that I don't have answers to, and I don't know how I'd be able to guide them. Like this one guy came to me, he's like, his kid's in like the 12th, and his hobby is to do investment banking. Like I don't even have an SIP right now. Like, how will I tell this child what to do with their money?
Yeah, honestly, if my kid is smarter than me, I'm just gonna no part of that. I can't deal with it.
We'll play this back as an exciting time capsule when we're pregnant.
We'll have one episode of like, oh, we didn't know jack shit back then.
Yeah.
You're holding like a baby and we're talking about it. Not me. I'll hold
Yeah,
sushi.
little Shakuntala Devi.
Shakuntala, fucking Shakuntala, bro.
So let's take a moment of silence.
Let's take a moment of silence for the trauma Naina's kid is gonna have to go through because of having a long ass name.
Let's take a moment of silence for Sakshi's lactose intolerant child who will be forced to shit themselves because she cannot let go of cheese.
Gang,
Yeah.
gang.
Okay.
And with that, we will see you next week on Fridays at what time? Whenever
Sometime,
we
whenever.
decide.
Yeah.
Okay, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And bye.
Bye.